Go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 11 of the Mid-South Wrestling Center podcast. I am your host, Cody Bowers. And today we have a very special guest, the Frontman, Morgan Williams. We'll be bringing Morgan on here in just a minute or so. But we would first like to officially announce we are now officially sponsored by J&J Customs Auto Repair and Diagnostics. Everything from a simple oil change to major diagnostics, family owned and operated, and with over 20 years experience. You can contact J&J Customs Auto Repair. Their numbers are available on the flyer that you see on screen. They're in the Halls, Tennessee area. All major diagnostics or any diagnostics at all will include a $75 diagnostics fee. Now, let's bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Morgan Williams. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Doing great. Living the dream.
Yeah, so you got your Cardinal stuff ready for today. I think you were telling me Cardinals start back up today.
Yes, sir. First game of spring training. We're last time I checked, we were up 1-0. So, fingers crossed for the 25 season.
Cool deal. Right. But also for people at home or anything like that is either listening live, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, but also this episode will become available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, and Amazon Music come Monday.
All right, right on, man.
So, yeah, we got that set up for a while.
Jackpot.
What is it?
It's a jackpot.
Yeah. Yep. Well, brother, I guess we're gonna get into the first topic of the day, and that would be like we all start each episode. What got Morgan Williams into professional wrestling? What was the thing that got you wanting to do this?
Actually, as a worker or as a fan?
What is? Let's put a point in time when whether you were sitting there as a. Let's start as a fan.
All right. So as a fan, holy crap, man! I've often told those around us that my earliest recollection of pro wrestling is my dad taking me and my brother and one of our friends, and we used to live in Texas, in Austin, Texas, and our dad took us to a house show that was actually like a shot for Coliseum Video back in the early 90s to the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas. And man, it was early days of like Undertaker, and like it was like just right post Shawn Michaels heel turn, throwing Marty through the barbershop window and blah blah blah. That would be my earliest recollection. I would say late 91, early 92, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of been a lifelong thing of mine, really.
Cool deal. Yeah, kind of like for me, it was there wasn't a time whenever I was old enough to finally realize it that there wasn't a moment. My grandfather always loved watching, wrestling on TV before I come along. Whenever my mom was a little girl and my uncle and aunts were real young, he'd actually take them to the Mid-South Coliseum and watch wrestling.
Sure.
And stuff like that. So, whenever he'd sit me in front of the TV screen or anything like that, and we'd watch WWE stuff like that. And
oh yeah.
whenever I think I was 4 or 5, whenever I was born and raised in Ripley, Tennessee. So whenever we heard Ripley Wrestling was coming to town, we were there every weekend.
All over it. Yeah, absolutely. I God, I thought back, and I said 91 or 92. That would have put me at 7 or 8 years old, and I'll be 41 this coming May, and it really dates me
Yeah.
a bit. It really makes me feel old. So thanks for that, Cody.
Yeah. So now, what was the moment being a wrestling fan, watching it and stuff like that? What was the moment that maybe it was a match or maybe it was something that clicked in your mind, be like, hey, I want to do this?
Well, I never even really considered that as even a remote possibility, because I didn't see that as an attainable goal or aspiration. I mean, it was always in the back of my mind, who wouldn't love to do this, but at the same time, how do you do this? And it wasn't until, oh God, I would say the early part of the 2000s that my brother Matt got hooked up with Austin Lane here in Arkansas, and once I saw it as an attainable goal, that's kind of when you start putting your best foot forward, kind of thing. But I'm not, man. Looking back, I remember a match as a from my childhood that really stands out. I always point to Brett and Owen at WrestleMania 10 as kind of that's the match that I want to that I want to show the non-fan that made me this is why I'm a fan, kind of thing. And I've changed some minds here and there, about the product. You have to see this kind of thing.
Yeah, I think anybody that's either in the current wrestling business or even outside of it that's never been in the business has that one match to show a non-wrestling fan, like, hey. And like you said, a lot of times it changes people, oh, I'm not a fan, wrestling is this, wrestling is that, too. Oh wow, this is what wrestling is. I think I'm going to get into it now.
Well, the people that don't understand are the people that don't care to find out. That they and it's kind of a shame, but at the same time, you're not going to change everybody's mind. Not everybody's going to wake up to your way of thinking, and that's fine. But guys like me and you and countless others that we know on a personal basis, it's a true form of art, and it's been a big part of my life for all my life. So I'm very proud to even be a small part of such a big product.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I guess the next topic we're going to get into, whether you want to talk about what early on or anything like that, but let's talk about some of the places that maybe you started wrestling for.
Okay. So early days, early days, I trained in Dixie, Arkansas, which is just a little coffee stain on the map, really.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, the Jonesboro, Brooklyn area
Yeah.
was the Dixie was like literally like a population of six. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I would go and train in a place called the Dixie Dance on Sunday afternoons, and trained under Reggie Montgomery and Johnny Hawk, uh, and that those are humble beginnings, to say the very least. But Reggie is to this day one of my very best friends in the world, and uh, uh, regardless of thought and perception out there, uh, I'm happy to be where I've been, and I'm pretty proud of my career, and I wouldn't have been able to accomplish this dream without those like Reggie and Johnny, and my brother Matt, especially. I mean, without his foot in the door, I certainly don't get mine in the door, and I'm to this day just living out a dream. I'm not. Uh, it's been a ride for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to. That was one of the topics we were going to actually bring up. Is you do have a brother in the business.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My older brother Matt, he's say I'm 40. I'll be 41 in May. Matt is 43, I think. Uh,
Okay.
and he's been in it just about a year and a half longer than me. I started in October of 2002, and I think he was the maybe spring or summer of 2000. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I know. You and him have crossed paths quite a few times in the wrestling ring, at
Oh
least.
yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt
Yeah.
is.
I just.
He's one of my favorites for sure. I think Matt is a. I think he's a super underrated talent in the area.
Mhm.
The whole tri-state area. I would say Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Matt is he doesn't get enough credit. He's a great talent.
Yeah. Yeah. I just recently saw the video of where I think you guys just got done wrestling, and downtown Bruno was actually giving you guys a pep talk
Yeah. Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit in the ring. Yeah. Or he was trying to get to you too, like, yeah, you guys are brothers. You should come
Yeah.
together. You guys be fighting each other. I
Yeah.
love that Bruno.
Yeah, oh, Bruno is he's probably my favorite human being that I've ever met in business.
Oh yeah.
Maybe at a time where I was uh, mentally at an all time low. Uh, Bruno kind of helped pull me out of a funk, and he kind of told me, this coming from Bruno of all people, Morgan, I've never refereed one of your matches where you didn't put on a 4 or 5 star match, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. And that coming from Bruno of all people, he's been to the dance, and
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, he's a pretty special human being for sure. Big, 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 big fan of Bruno for sure.
Oh yeah, same here, same here. I actually just got off the phone with him a couple weeks ago, and he heard that Johnny Morton. Johnny Morton was my last podcast episode,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he actually let me in on the insight that he actually gave Johnny Morton his Ripley Prim name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea. Actually, Johnny Morton is. I had one of my favorite matches that I've ever had in my career with Johnny
Oh yeah,
in Hot Springs with Matt Riviera's CWA. I was supposed to wrestle another guy, and he had to cancel last minute, and it's a shame because I think we could have good business together. But me and Johnny went out and really tore the house down and had a good match. And yeah, Johnny's one of my favorite dudes for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's,
Oh yeah.
yeah, good dude.
Yeah, I've liked Johnny ever since I met him too. And I guess the next topic we can get into, and one of the places you actually currently work, and I worked there as well, is Pro Wrestling Mid South. How did you get connected with? Well, at the time it was NWA Mid South, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So Greg Anthony was looking for guys to kind of, I don't know if you want to say shine them up or whatever, kind of give them the rub sort of thing. But he was looking for guys to come work, and he put some feelers out here in Arkansas, and Idlebane. He goes by Big Nasty Phil now.
yeah,
Uh, he actually reached out to Greg, and Philly told him, you ought to take a look at Morgan Williams. He's not very big in stature, but I think y'all can do some good business together. And that was spring of 2016, I think, and it's kind of been off and on and hit and miss here and there, since. But the first, all the way up to the point that I got sick, in the latter part of 2018, and Greg's. He's probably been my most consistent. I have shows here in Arkansas that I've worked. Right now I'm working with ASWF and MACW in Tuckerman. I've actually got a show. I have a show to do tonight, tagging with Philly against a couple of St. Louis guys. So looking forward to that.
cool deal, cool deal. Now, I think, see, I had started with Greg September of 2016, I believe. Yes, I'm pretty sure you're probably already there. I can't remember.
I would say I got there. My first show in Dyersburg was. I remember it vividly because I worked the show. I wrestled Greg, and immediately after the show, I loaded up in the car and drove to Jupiter, Florida for spring training. The
Okay.
spring training, just right after that show, and that was a long night. That was a real long night, but yeah, it's actually one of my favorite memories, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was long beard, long hair, Greg.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely another lifetime ago for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got a chance to grow up and see Foley had his four faces of Foley, three faces of Foley, whatever.
Yeah.
I got to see the multi faces of Greg Anthony throughout my life. You know.
Yeah. So Greg was there. There was a time where he was running. Oh, dadgummit. He was running Arkansas. I think it was LAW, maybe in Rector, and I really wanted to get in with him then at that point, but I was still at that point I was still pretty green. I was still pretty fresh, I just kind of trying to find my footing at that time. I've often told Greg that I would have loved to have got in with him sooner, but I'm I'm grateful for my experiences.
Yeah. The next topic is still kind of on the NWA Mid South scale.
Sure.
Wasn't too much longer after I know how it started up. I met you, stuff like that. It wasn't too much longer after that. You become a pretty dominant tag team wrestler.
Yeah. So you talk about the rock and rap thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So me and so Brandon or MC B-Side came from the Northeast Arkansas area also.
Yeah.
And he's actually working tonight with me in Tuckerman. And
I didn't even know he was still doing anything in the business besides
yeah.
Millington Mayhem stuff.
I'd say I think he got out of it for a little while.
Okay.
He had some personal issues going on at home that needed to be tended to, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And we've actually gotten to reconnect here in the last. See, I went back to work for ASWF. I guess in the summertime. Me and my wife were sitting here watching a movie, and I got a phone call out of nowhere. That said, "Hey, you want to come do this thing with us?" And blah blah blah. And it's just kind of taken off ever since. But and then it wasn't long after that. It was a couple shows later that Brandon was there, and that's the first time we had seen each other since
back then.
Yeah, pre chemo.
Yeah.
And we got to sit down and kind of hash it out and have a nice long talk. And yeah, it's been nice being able to reconnect with my boy, 2-time tag team champions. We had a good run together for sure. It worked.
Yeah. I think one of the most memorable matches, and I can't remember. I think you were in it. I think it was a tag match. No, maybe it wasn't. I know it was Greg and B-Side at the time. I don't know if you were there or not, but I know B-Side got put through a table.
I was not there for that. I remember hearing about it. I remember hearing about that match.
Okay.
I was in St. Louis for a ball game. It's either a ball game or a concert. It was one of the two. But I'm pretty sure it was a ball game. But yeah, I remember hearing about it the next week, and it was like a street fight kind of thing, I believe. And yeah, I heard they really tore it down.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, while you were doing the Rock and Rap Express, you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. The next topic that we're going to get into is you soon, not too long into it, you got an opportunity to go work for the CWA,
Yes,
Matt
sir.
Riviera's company.
Yeah.
So tell us how that felt, getting notified that, hey, you're going to go work
Man,
at a pretty dominant Arkansas-based company.
Yeah. That was a pretty special moment for me, really. And I've got to be honest with you. Until I went to work for Greg. I started in 2002, and I didn't go to work for Greg until 2016. And up to that point, there as far as psychology went, I didn't really know a whole lot about ring psychology, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I did good things, and I enjoyed myself, and I've won championships all over the state of Arkansas, and no shame whatsoever. I've had a good career, and I'm happy with what I've done. But whenever it comes time to do that kind of thing, I remember coming to work for Greg, and somebody saying, feeding a comeback, and that's, huh? Maybe kind of a deer in headlights sort of thing. And it is what it is. It's again, no shame. I've very much enjoyed my time in the business. So Greg had booked me with, I think it was Wonder Boy, uh, on a show that Matt Riviera was booked on, and Greg had told Riviera previous to that show that
Yeah.
he wanted me to, or he wanted Riviera to sit down and watch my stuff, and so they sat down and watched it together, and I came back and we shook hands, and everything was great. And then the next week I came back, and Riviera was there again, and they pulled me off to the side during the pre-show like training kind of sessions, and uh, Greg and Matt took me up in their bleachers and just took me off to the side, and Matt said, he really enjoyed my work. He really, he wouldn't have changed a thing about what I did. And, he was proud of me and would love to have me on some projects. And God dang it, I wish I could remember now uh, who I was originally booked with before Johnny Morton had to step in. Uh, I guess it's really irrelevant now, uh, but for a guy like Greg Anthony and Matt Riviera to pull you off to the side. They've been places and they've done things, and they're a couple big inspirations of mine. And for them to pull you off to the side and say, "Hey, good job, kid. You're a pretty good hand." And yeah, that means a lot. It's um, and a business that's can sometimes be a little callous.
Yeah.
It's you don't always get that pat on the back, and that's fine. My feelings aren't hurt about it. For a long time, I did let that kind of thing consume me. But I, I've endorsed I've endorsed myself to the people that are worth being endorsed for. And that means a lot to me.
Oh yeah. 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 I kind of was that way too because I've never wrestled. I've always wanted to, but I due to a back injury that happened whenever I was 14, 15, it has left me to the point to where I don't want to take that chance because of what the doctors have told me.
Sure, I
But
get.
I'm pretty satisfied with what I've done in the business so far.
Well,
I
you
may
take.
not be
I was just
known, but
Well, I was gonna say you've taken over as a branch manager there in Ripley. You've done as far as what I've seen. As far as what I've seen up there, you've done a fantastic job in that role. So don't undersell yourself. You're doing a good job.
I really appreciate it. I really do.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, it was kind of surreal to me, getting like I said, getting a chance to as a kid go every week, watch the guys do what they do best in that ring. Then finally being able to have the opportunity to be a part of the business, and then here I am 10 years later, and now I'm Ripley branch manager. It
Yeah.
was kind of a
Wild.
surreal
Yeah, it's
moment.
wild for sure. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess the next topic we can get into, and it's kind of on a personal level.
Absolutely.
Uh, for the people at home that don't know you or know anything personally about you, you were actually diagnosed with cancer quite a few years back.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, give us the update about that, and what how everything is going.
Uh, man, as far as I know, as of right now, things are good. I've physically, this is the best that I've felt since before I got sick. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm so I did I did two shows for Riviera before I got sick, uh,
Okay.
and uh, the second show that I did, uh, me and Dale Wild tagged together to work with Mike Anthony and John Allen, and
Yeah, used to love those guys.
Mike and John.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they're incredible talent.
yeah. I knew them as the OMGs back in the day.
Yeah, that's what they were going
Yeah,
by. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The Orange Mountain Gangsters is what. Yeah, it was short for.
yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, great
yeah,
talents. Love,
yeah.
love them both, really.
Oh yeah,
Uh, uh, so I think John hit me with a splash or a moonsault, or somebody hit me with something that just landed on me, and I could tell it just did. This was September of 2017, 2018, something like
yeah,
that. I can't remember the exact dates. I get hit in the head a lot, so
yeah,
uh, but I remember it hurt more than it should have, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't because of anything they did. It was just
Mhm.
I knew going into it that I was hurting. Uh, and whenever I went to the locker room after the match, I coughed real hard, and I coughed up a big ball of blood and phlegm, I mean it was pretty massive. It was. I was like, well, that's probably not good.
Yeah.
So,
I would say not so.
yeah. So I got in and saw Dr. Sifford in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and we got set up with a surgeon. And I say this like it all happened within a 2 or 3 week process, and I mean it wasn't like that. I went to doctors and specialists and talked to family, and I mean that I have a family chock full of people in the nursing field and anesthesiologists and all kinds of things. And anyway, the we went and did the mass removal. We found a mass on my left lung, and they went in and cut it out and ran it, and it came back as non-small cell B cell lymphoma, which in layman's terms would be non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's a pretty interesting time in my life for sure. Uh,
yeah,
but it grew me up in a hurry. I
yeah,
was before that I was, pardon me, I was kind of on the road to going nowhere fast, sort of thing. And when you're faced with your own mortality, kind of thing, it's uh, you find the measure of a man.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think me and you had talked about it. It wasn't too long after. Maybe it was a little after that you had found out that you had lymphoma cancer.
Yes, sir.
My she was of course significantly older than you. But my actually lost. That's what it lost. I lost my grandmother too. Was lymphoma.
Yeah, yeah,
Thankfully,
yeah.
she had a well 10 plus year fight with it, but it got to her to her point where old age was catching up real fast with her. She died in her mid 70s.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
I,
it got to the point where she would do chemo a week later or however long it took to do chemo again. She had just gotten her energy back, and so she finally told the doctor that she couldn't keep. She
yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't a life to live, I guess you can say. She said she'd rather finish it out on her own ways and
sure.
stuff like that. But I'm always happy to hear people going in remission with it and stuff
Well,
like that.
my oncologist told me the first day whenever they uh, installed my port in my it's a Hickman catheter in my chest that went straight to my main artery. Uh, yeah, Ramon Desikan was his name, and God bless him. I love him dearly. I wouldn't be here without him, literally.
Yeah,
And he told me that first day of treatment, there's no form chemo that is good. This is gonna suck. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh, but you attitude is a lot of it. Um, uh, being strong-willed and just listening to your team and doing what they're saying, kind of thing. And uh, I had a had an accident with my dog, uh, who I still have. He's around here somewhere. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, where he pulled my central line out, and that was very very close to spelling the end for me, sort of thing. And my family and Deskin and uh, a lot of people did a lot of things to come together and save my life, and very very grateful to still be here, because
Oh yeah.
it could have went the other way around very easily.
Oh yeah. 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 I think I was telling one of because I had to do a double episode last week because I had to end up canceling on one of them.
Yeah,
But I was talking. It was either to Johnny Morton or Cordell. I think it was Johnny Morton. But for a lot of people who don't know this, my logo. I've ran Mid South Wrestling News since 2016, since I had started with Greg Anthony, and it
yeah,
was mainly to try and help other companies get over, help promote their shows, stuff like that. Well, soon it just kind of got a little bit tiring. I didn't want to do anything more with it, and so I just kind of let it go for a while. And I was like, well, I've been in the business 10 years. I said, why don't I actually do something new with it? Podcast idea coming to play. Well,
I love it.
yeah, my logo has always had lime green in it. And
Ah,
then
see what you did there.
it was not to probably a couple years later, it turned into lime green and orange. In which
Yeah,
now my official podcast logo, I still tell people to this day, if you need any graphic design or any logos, Jake Haynes is the guy to go to.
Jake Haynes.
Yeah, Jake Capone. Yeah,
Okay.
known as the
No,
rest of the business. He's an Illinois guy. Illinois guy.
okay.
He's the one who actually makes every Pro Wrestling Mid South flyer to date.
Dale Chitty is, or Deadly Dale. He's a
Mm-hmm.
guy here in Arkansas that, well, he broke in before I did. But he's one of my better friends over in this area, and
Yeah.
he does great work. Also, I've never worked with Jake, but I'll have to see what he's got for sure.
Yeah. He, I messaged him and kind of told him what all I wanted for a logo, and I told him to make sure to keep lime green and orange. Now, lime green, you know why? It's
Yeah, yes,
the
sir.
lymphoma cancer ribbon color. That one's for my grandmother, and I
Okay,
actually lost my grandfather to prostate cancer,
I'm very sorry.
and yeah, and his is orange. So those two colors, I make sure to keep in the logo as a memorial type thing.
Good for you, man. You're doing it right. The sentimental value goes a long way with me.
Oh yeah. I lost my grandmother in 2014, and I lost my grandfather, I believe, in 2016, 2017.
Both to
Both to cancer. Yeah.
I,
Which I have a very long. A lot of people say, well, cancer. I actually asked a doctor this, and because I kind of got curious of it, because I asked him. I said, "Is cancer? Can cancer be gene pooled? Like,
yeah.
can it be transmitted through genes?" And he said, "Not technically." But he said medicine and medical, there's so many different medical cases where it's like they ask if you have family history of cancer,
Hmm.
because there's that possibility. My grandfather's parents had cancer. My grandmother's parents had cancer. My grandmother had already had a son who passed away of cancer
Yeah.
in 2007. Um uh, so
Well,
yeah, I was just
Greg has consistently ridden my back over my having been a smoker, pre
Yeah.
pre treatment, and
Uh,
my doctor told me himself, my cancer had nothing to do with my smoking. It was more genetics than it was anything that I was putting in my body. And Greg is convinced that he he knows it was because of smoking that I had cancer in my lung.
yeah. So for anybody that knows Greg Anthony and has ever actually sat down and talked to Greg himself,
He's very strong-willed. He's
he
very
will. I swear, he'll die on a heel, trying to prove that he's right. Even though you can show him. He's one of those guys where you can look it up online.
yeah.
Show him 100, show him 99 articles that you're right, but he'll take that one article that shows that he's right and run with it.
Yeah. 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 Uh,
Yeah, love him to death though. Still love him to death.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely. I'm not, it is what it is.
yeah,
Greg, I'm telling you, the oncologist told me my cancer has zero to do with nicotine or cigarettes or well, your smoking didn't help.
yeah,
Oh, you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
The gentleman who went to probably 8 years of college and for this specific disease told me
Yeah.
this. But you, a 25-year veteran of the professional wrestling business who's never went to college for anything medical wise.
Yeah. To be fair, they're both good at what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't argue with Greg on wrestling stuff, but anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody that actually knows Greg Anthony knows he is a walking he's a walking wrestling historian.
He's an encyclopedia. This is the way
Yeah. That's what I've always said too, is a wrestling encyclopedia.
Yep.
If it happened to wrestling, he can probably tell you when, where, how, everything.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that's why I love working with him.
Yeah. I've not lately so much anymore because Greg and I we don't get along just super great anymore. But there was a time where I would sit in the locker room and just pick his brain for hours on end, sort of thing. And as far as the wrestling business goes, I don't think there's I don't think there's anybody within this area that that knows their stuff, quite like Greg Anthony. There's a method to his madness for sure.
Well, Morgan, I don't know. You've seen probably a couple episodes of the podcast. Maybe you're not.
Yes, sir.
I like to be real interactive. I do have a thing where I can pull up comments and whether it's from Twitch or anything like that. And we have a comment. It's from Cordell Roberts, my last week guest.
My guy, I love you, buddy. I miss you so much. I'd love to get in there and mix it up with you some more. Cordell, he is. I actually wrestled Cordell while I was still taking chemotherapy, and in a lot of ways, it's difficult to not get emotional about that match, if I'm being honest. Let me suck it up here for a second. That match took place about 4 weeks after my accident with Benjamin, my dog, where my doctors told my family to come in and say their goodbyes, sort of thing. And 5 weeks later, I'm still having complications, and I'm still taking treatment and that kind of thing. And me and Cordell got in there together, and magic happened. And that's the best way I know how to put it. And it's one of my favorite matches that I've ever had in my career. And I really owe Cordell a lot. He was all business, and he didn't have to do what he did. And Cordell, I love you, buddy. I miss you.
Yeah. Another comment from Cordell as well.
Yeah, you were. What are my language parameters, Cody?
Yeah, all out. I don't care.
You're an asshole.
Well, it's kind of weird because this was his actually next comment.
Love you, buddy. Well, I'm sorry for calling you an asshole. Yeah. I love Cordell a lot. Yeah, he's one of my favorites by a very large margin.
Oh yeah. I remember when Cordell first come in and started working for NWA Mid South. It was be a beast of a guy, still a beast of a guy today. Here he's really making moves at UCW right now.
Absolutely, yeah. I saw where Aaron got his WWE ID.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping for the same thing for Cordell. I don't know Aaron super well. That's a real shame. I wish I did. My brother Matt speaks very highly of him. Cordell, I think, is could be lumped right in there with him. We've only ever been in the ring together a very small handful of times, me and Cordell. The first one was fantastic. It was just like I said, we got in there and magic happened. And the second time was about 7 hours after a chemo treatment, and that was not so great, But
yeah,
it's what are you going to do, kind of thing. And but I wish nothing but the best for Cordell and Aaron both. I think the world of both of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I actually had Cordell on last week. Kind of did a double episode. His was I think we shot his at noon or 11, and then more Johnny's was at 2. And there's a list of guys that I got to get on here before part 2. Cordell's probably going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Downtown Bruno, I got to get him on here soon.
Have to.
Yeah. He was my opener. It was him and Greg Anthony together.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. Now I got to get him on his own little episode. I'm thinking about shooting for episode 20.
Greg's a pain in my ass, but Bruno is he's a rite of passage in the business.
Oh yeah. Like I was telling you beforehand, with me and him actually talked on the phone a couple of weeks ago. He goes, whenever you're ready, he said, just let me know. I'll make sure I'm available, and we'll do it.
We did a show together, me and Bruno. Let me ask my wife. Wife, when was that? that Cordell, or not? God dang it, Cordell! I'm sorry. Bruno came in and ref that match for me in Austin. So 5-6 weeks, something.
Was that the Rumble?
Yeah, it was Ricky's show.
Yeah, so it was in December.
Was it December? Okay, yeah. So Bruno came in and refereed a match between me and Austin Lane, and really good match, really hot crowd. Me and Bruno didn't really get a chance to sit down and talk a whole lot that night because there was a lot of moving parts. There's just a lot of things going on that night. then he called me the next day whenever I got home from my shoot job, and we sat on the phone and talked for, I think it was like right at like 47 minutes or something, and we just chopped it up, yeah, just probably the most solid dude that I've ever met in the business for sure, by far.
Well, we have another commenter, different commenter.
Oh God, I'm afraid.
And there's, you know, I don't know your cat's name, but made a guest appearance here today.
That was Jezebel.
Yeah. But we all know him. We all love him. You know, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. John Michael has sent in a comment.
I miss John. I don't get to see him near enough anymore.
Yeah. I think he'll be here tonight. He wasn't there last week. I think he was in Washington, D.C. with his daughter.
What?
Yeah. And it just so happened, I believe WWE was there. I don't get me wrong about that, but it just so happened the same weekend, because then everybody, of course, it went over the airways. Oh, John Michael works for the WWE secretly, and that's why he was in Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, he confirmed that it's a no, but I think he did try to get some numbers or something like that. But business stuff.
There's a time where John and I were. He's one of my closer confidants in business, and like I said, I don't get to see him near enough anymore. And he was always one that I thought a lot of, and miss you, John. He must be talking about Applebee's parking lot or something.
Probably so. There's a few Applebee parking lot moments I was with y'all guys with. So,
yeah, it could be sketchy at best.
Yeah. And hey, Dyersburg, as I was telling Johnny Morton last week, we just become an official wrestling city. We now have a Waffle House.
What?
We have a Waffle House.
Oh, cool, man.
Thing about it is they put it on the mall parking lot, so we now have a Waffle House and Applebee's that you can see.
See, I need to get it on a Dyersburg show then. I keep telling my wife that we're going to have a Waffle House date one of these days, and we still haven't done it. And we've been together for a couple of years now, and they just have to take her to Dyersburg Waffle House and make it happen.
Yeah, me and I took my wife there a couple of weeks ago to breakfast, and it was so good. The food is
Waffle House is good any time of day. It doesn't have to be breakfast. It's good. That's best time to eat Waffle House is midnight.
Yeah, the thing about our Waffle House right now, though, is I don't know if they done changed their time, but whenever they first opened, they were only open for 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah.
That's not okay.
It's not. But
that's blasphemy.
I think they opened a little bit too early. They weren't staffed enough for a 24-hour thing. They may be 24-hour now, but I have no idea. Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about it. I need you to get some shit together, Dyersburg.
No, but John Michael is trust me, he hasn't changed at all.
I believe that. Yeah.
But I would never. I don't think anybody should ever ask him to change, because he's greatest guy. If you ever meet him, he's sweetheart of a person.
Yeah, I love John. He's always been straight with me. I mean, at least to my face, and I wouldn't expect him to be anything otherwise behind my back. I mean, like I said, I can't say anything bad about John at all. He's been a favorite of mine for a long time. So,
two more comments.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please.
John Michael again, jokester that he is. We love him.
Tell your wife, wife, are you listening to this?
Mm-hmm.
Tell your wife, this is from John. Okay. Tell your wife I said you have to do a Dyersburg event. My word stands tall. John's full of shit. hard, stands tall and hard for.
Like I said, we love him.
Come to
Love it.
Arkansas, John. Come to Arkansas.
Mhm.
And another comment from a different commenter,
Yeah, please,
Mr. Peyton Minnick.
Mr. Frontman. We had many battles throughout the. Yes, sir. Yeah. So Peyton, prayers are with you right now, my man.
Yeah, I was just about to say that for anybody that does not know personally, I'm not here to put personal business out there.
Absolutely
I'm not. Just please, anybody watching or listening, please just keep them in him and his wife in your prayers. No details is going to come from me unless you know him personally.
So one of my favorite memories actually working for Greg. Peyton was actually one of my early opponents. And he might have been 15, 16 years old at the time, maybe. And John was kind of our John Michael was kind of our Finnish guy. You know, they approached me in the locker room, and John knew I'd been in the business for quite some time up to that point. You know, and he approached me and he kind of slapped me on the shoulder and said, "You're going over, kid." Dude, come on.
Yeah.
I always, but I've always had a good time, and always had a real sense of respect for Peyton. He's always treated me with respect, and I've always tried to treat him kindly.
So, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you during this, you know, if you see me smirking a little bit, no, I see these comments before anybody else does, and
God bless you for it.
John Michael is the one guy that can take a dark or any sort of kind of, you know, bad or you know, situation and add some light to it.
I can only imagine.
Here's his most recent comment he wanted to sit in.
Love you, buddy. Hey, do we have a few more minutes?
We're about an hour in. I mean, you got all the time you need, brother.
Can I blow somebody on here real quick that no longer works in this area?
Okay, I'm glad you come to the I don't know if it's you or somebody else. Something about that.
What's that?
People putting the wrong pauses in their thing.
What do you mean?
I don't think you caught it. I caught it. I'm pretty sure somebody else may have caught it, but the way you paused, it said, "Hey, do you mind if I blow somebody on here?"
Yeah.
I had to stop for a second and wait to hopefully you say something after that. You can't do that here. Maybe Pornhub or somewhere other. Not here though.
I don't mean literally. He's probably not even watching, and if he's not, that's fine. Maybe he will later.
Yeah.
Josh Matthews.
I know Josh. I met Josh whenever he worked for us. You know.
Yeah, I love Josh so much. He's probably my all-time favorite opponent. Like, he's maybe my favorite guy that I've ever worked with. We just got to, you know, sit down and just do some good business together. And Josh, wherever you are, man, I hope you're well out there. I haven't seen Josh since pre-treatment, so we've talked here and there now and then, and he's trying to talk me into skydiving with him now, and I haven't been able to get over into his neck of the woods to be able to do that yet, but I'm determined to do that one day. What
I
am I?
know he was always an adventurous guy, trying to.
Josh?
Yeah,
Oh God,
yeah,
yeah. He was all business. He was down for uh he was down for whatever. You could throw anything at him, and he was those are the guys that you love, that you appreciate, that you really. Uh, I remember we had a match in Ripley one night. Me and Josh did, and Riviera was there for it, and uh,
Oh, big thanks to Cordell Robertson. He just tagged Josh Blaylock Matthews
thank you,
into the
Cordell.
into the
Appreciate you,
comment
brother.
section.
I I I love Josh so much. Like I say, he's probably my favorite. At least two or three. He's right up there. But we really tore the house down one night in Ripley,
Yeah,
and Riviera was there. And as soon as we got back to the locker room, he was the first guy we saw. And Riviera looked at both of us and said, "God dang it, boys, y'all earned your McDonald's tonight."
yeah,
Well, that's that coming from Riviera of all people. Uh, yeah, that's that one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite matches.
yeah.
Uh, he's he's a guy I feel that doesn't get talked about enough, doesn't get enough credit. He's a good man.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Peyton Minnick again. Just want to do that. I love you, brother. Like I said, we're keeping you guys in our prayers. Most definitely.
Absolutely. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
oh,
I've let a few cuss words slip here and there. I apologize.
don't matter to me, brother.
But I very much believe there's a higher power up there that I answer to every day, and try to talk with as much as I can. I've been talking with him an awful lot about the Minnick family lately. So,
Oh yeah,
uh, Peyton, I love you, buddy, and yeah, I'm thinking about you and praying for you.
yeah. He sent in this while we were talking. Also,
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I never got to work with him. I always wanted to. I tried to talk him out of retirement once, and I think I think Riviera's in politics now.
yeah,
I want to say.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he's a state representative, actually, I believe.
God bless him. I
Yeah,
couldn't do it. I couldn't do
yeah.
it.
I couldn't do it either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just work with my machinery and
yeah,
spit in your bread.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cordell Robertson got a booking idea for you.
Dude, let's make it happen. Brother, I am all the way down like Chinatown.
Huh.
Ripley, Tuckerman, Dyersburg. Uh, yeah, you name the place and we'll do it. Well, yeah. Well, talk to Matt because his schedule is a lot more hectic than mine. Uh, I would love to work with both of y'all though, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Would be easily be a good match.
I'm healthy
Uh,
now, so
yeah,
I'd be.
yeah, the,
You can throw me much further these days.
hey, you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
It's if it's not on any other shows you guys are on, hey, I do run a show once a year, Quake at the Lake. We're
Bro,
doing it. We're doing it again this year.
Bowers, I
You were
need you
supposed
to
to be
make
on it
that
last
happen.
year. Things
I need you,
happened. I don't blame you for them. I don't hold you against it. But this year, we got to get Morgan Williams on there.
brother. I'm down. Me and my wife uh, had a situation last year when I know I was booked for that. And I felt awful for not being able to make it. But we had a situation with Christy's daughter.
Yeah.
They had a mishap and while they're in Florida, and it was just an unfortunate time for the family, and timing is everything, So I would love to be a part of the next one for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, you were actually booked in a tag match with Peyton.
Yeah,
his tag team partner.
Yeah, it's supposed to be me and Peyton against the Hustlers, I believe.
The LA Hustlers.
Yeah. If we could get me and Matt to work with the Robertsons, I think we need to, if we could get that on the line. I'm all the way down for that. Cordell, I don't know if I've said this yet or not, but I love you. I think that's fantastic on you.
From going from I love you to you're an asshole back to I love you. But well, brother, we are just a little an hour over. We're over an hour. I've run out of topics.
I could stay another
definitely
hour.
Have to do a part two.
Out now. Whatever you need me to do, brother. I'm happy to do whatever you need me to do.
Yeah, that's up to you, brother.
If
you need to go, we can cut this off now. If you got another hour, we can go another hour.
Brother, I'm down for whatever you need to do. I know you have a show to do in Dyersburg tonight, so I've got a show in Tuckerman, but I mean we're not leaving the house here until. And by the way, I haven't mentioned this yet. My wife was kind of chapping my ass before it came on the air about the wall behind me being bare. The wall behind me is bare because my wife just got done painting, and we're kind of trying to redecorate and remodel the house here. So it's sort of sorry for all of you that have not been entertained by the blank wall behind me, but.
Yeah, my first couple episodes, I had the same thing, a blank wall, and I was like, we just got done moving, and I didn't have a chance to go through my wrestling stuff yet. I was like, let's put some wrestling stuff up that I could find. I actually got this at a thrift store, and I paid $2 for it. I was like, yeah, fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, hey.
Makes for a good background. My wife tried to get me to
actually freaking stop.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that when we came on the air, or before we came on the air. I was like, that was the Pipe Bomb show, I believe. Yeah.
Well, he's my number one wrestler on my top 5 list of WWE, WCW guys. So
Austin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, since you say that, you have to give me a Mount Rushmore.
Austin.
Okay.
I am going to probably get cut at the throat for my number 2 because I have 2 number 2s.
Okay.
And Guerrero and Benoit.
Oh, yeah.
But the people out there with the whole Benoit thing, is gonna.
I get it, but piss on you.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Rock is not in my top 5.
Rock is not in. Well, you can only have 4. Mount Rushmore is 4. Give me 4.
Yeah. Well, he's not in my 4 either.
Well, okay, fair enough. You only gave 3 though. You gave me Austin, Benoit, and Eddie.
Crap. That 4th one's always the hardest, isn't it?
Always.
It's always the hardest. Bret Hart.
Bret. Okay.
People gonna say shit about Shawn was always better. No, Bret Hart was always better.
Brett
Sean
is,
was the entertainer.
yeah.
Brett was the wrestler. I'm sorry, I got to go with the wrestler on this one.
I agree with that. I think Sean was sports entertainment. I think Brett was.
If you're listening to this, I'm sorry, Greg Anthony, but Bret Hart is better.
I agree. I'm with you.
He's a Shawn Michaels guy, so I mean, it's
my Mount Rushmore. I always go by tickets sold.
yeah.
My standard one that I always go to is Andre, Hogan, Flair, and Austin.
Yeah,
those are my four. I think Flair. God dang it! He's not exactly endeared his legacy in recent years, but
yeah.
you can't take away what he's done for the business.
So one of my more, and I was going to make a Facebook post about this, but I knew a lot of people was going to get there, and I just don't like arguing with people.
Yeah,
plain and simple. Triple H opinions.
Me?
Yeah.
My opinion on Hunter?
On Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
He trumps.
I don't want to tell you my opinion and then you get kind of mad at me.
Dude, because I'm somebody.
I don't like him, so that's.
You don't like him?
I don't like him.
Okay, I think he's taken the business somewhere that it hasn't been since the Attitude Era, and I think he's going to make. I think with time he's going to take it beyond that, and I think it's in the right hands. My personal opinion.
I agree with he's taking the WWE a lot farther than we've seen Vince McMahon ever think that he could take it.
I don't know
Vince
about
McMahon was stuck. Vince McMahon was stuck where he was at. Vince McMahon didn't have any future outlook on that.
Sure. Well, where he ended up in the latter years, he's I will not take away what he did, in the late 80s or mid 80s into the 90s and so on. Vince had an incredible vision. But all the things that have come out, it's I liken it to Benoit. It's really easy for me to, okay, this, and this is great, but what you did is, it's real hard for me to praise your work now, and
so I comment this every single time, anytime I see like Triple H get praised or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
From my opinion, and even from people who react to my comments and reply to my comments, it just proves my point, either beyond a shadow of a doubt. Triple H got where he was today by the people that he associated himself with.
A lot of people are of that opinion, and I can't.
Yeah. My unpopular wrestling opinion, if it wasn't for the click, if he didn't fuck the boss's daughter, I think he would still be a British gimmick named Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and he probably would be already out of the professional wrestling business.
Oh yeah, but there was preconceived notions about Hunter before he was sleeping with Stephanie. I mean, there was wheels were in motion before they were a thing, and
there's been times where it seems like
would he have taken over the company? Would he have taken over the company? I can't say that, but I'll call a spade a spade. His.
I know I'd asked Greg Anthony, I was like, okay, what if all that never happened and Test and Stephanie actually did get married? What he thought would happen. He said he thinks they will get divorced. I'm not so sure.
Who, Hunter and Stephanie, or
Test and Stephanie, if they ever, if everything worked out the way it was supposed to, and they actually went off and got married in real life, and blah 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 with this.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Would we
I
be
think
in the Test era right now instead of the Triple H era? Would we be in the Test era right here?
let's hope not.
Yeah,
I think the business is right where it needs to be. I think
yeah.
it's we went from pro wrestling to sports entertainment, and I think we're transitioning back into pro wrestling. And it's I've actually been a fan to be a fan again, and not being ashamed of people losing eyeballs and blah blah blah. It's back to a product that I can actually sit through.
Yeah, the one thing I do wish people would stop doing is comparing a company. I've made a Facebook post about this. Is comparing a company that has been open for 60 years, 70 years, however long WWE's been open,
To
to AEW.
Yeah. Well,
there's no comparison.
I think I'm just sick of tribalism in general. Really.
Yeah, the only comparisons you can have is where AEW has stolen WWE ideas.
Well, the AEW thing is, I think they kind of squandered with the CM Punk stuff. I think they really kind of shit the bed and rolled around in it whenever he was, Hulk Hogan was to WCW what CM Punk was to AEW, and you shit the bed with that. You kind of you get what you deserve, sort of thing, or at least that's my opinion. And and God knows you can't have opinions anymore because God forbid. But
well,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, with the AEW thing, WWE thing, WWE instantly bringing Punk back in after the AEW squandrel. At least WWE didn't post literally on live TV, post a video of CM Punk months after he has left the company.
Yeah.
To try and get views.
Let's watch CM Punk defend himself in the Riot and be the highest rated segment of our show in a year and a half. Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
Well, Morgan, we got a couple more comments that done shot in.
God bless you.
We want to go over those. Peyton with this comment.
Who do you see, in your opinion, out of all these younger talents? Oh man, Peyton, that's a good question. In my opinion, I think I've often said that I think Thud Powell is going to be or deserves to be on another universe or another platform. And I think Thud's a fantastic talent. Man, I'm so out of the loop anymore. It's hard for me to Peyton. The last thing that I don't even want to see you in the ring until I don't want to see you in the ring for the next year. You need to keep your mind off of wrestling and keep it where it's at. But I think Peyton's a fantastic talent, though. And I knew both of those guys whenever they were coming up, and
Yeah.
um,
So let's do this. Let's do this. We did our top 5 WWE, WWE, WCW guys. Let's do our top 5 Pro Wrestling Mid South guys. We both work for the company. Let's throw that out there.
the Mid South guys.
Well, Pro Wrestling Mid South in general. We both work at the same company. Let's throw that out. I've gotten a chance to work for him 8 years. You've gotten a chance to work for him for 8 years.
I think it has to be. Damn you! You put me on the spot, you bastard.
You want me to do mine first, and then maybe you can kind of think about it?
Yeah, give me a chance to think about it for a minute.
All right. Brandon Ray, Thud Powell, David Jason Rose, Tyler B. Jordan. If I have to throw somebody underneath the weight limit of 150 pounds in there, Peyton Pee Wee Pitts.
That's solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you want me to
Nothing against Greg. I always tell people whenever I make my top 5, I'm looking at the younger guys. I'm not looking at I'd love to add John in there. I'd love to add Greg in there. I'd love to add, we had Jason Peter Rose there last week managing and stuff like that. I'd love to add those guys in there, but I'm looking at the people who are most likely to be WWE ID'd because they're looking for young, good-looking talent right now.
I would definitely throw DJR in there for sure. I love DJ. I think if I'd have been 100% healthy whenever DJ and I were working together, we probably could have gotten a lot of mileage out of that. And I was I was nowhere near where I should have been whenever I was working with him, and I apologize for that, DJ. But I would say DJ.
We said Thud, and now you're saying DJ.
Dave Jason Rose.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying you have 2 now. You just got 3 more.
Who are my 2?
You said Thud, and then you said DJ.
Yeah, okay,
I don't know.
Right. Thud, DJ, Peyton. Oh God dang it! I don't know a lot of the young guys, man, because I'm not there enough.
I know you're not there on more specifically on Saturday because most of our Friday we have a pretty daggum good list of guys that come on Friday night. But Dyersburg seems to have a lot more of our heavy hitters.
I think Cody Sawyer is going to be solid. Yeah. I think he needs to simmer a little while longer. But I think with time he's going to be a star. As of right now, my 4 have to be. I'm going to give you 4 because I'm having trouble with 5. I'm going to go Thud, DJ, Peyton. Oh God dang it!
It's always that last one, isn't it?
I know.
For my number 5, I had, like I said, if it was anybody under 150 pounds, it's got to be Peyton. But if it's
Peyton, right?
What is it? You said Peyton. You said Peyton, but like for my number 5, I put a certain standard on there. Now, if it was anybody over 150 pounds, I'd have to tell you somebody else. But
I don't know if he's quite ready yet, but Chase, I think, has a lot of potential.
Chase Andrews.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys, that he seems to.
I think Chase needs to stay out of his own way a lot of times. maybe thinks too much.
Yeah. If I had to say for my number 5, if it was anybody over, well, he is the current Southern Junior Heavyweight Champion, so I don't know if I can put him in
Case,
that. No, Jason Perez. I don't think
damn,
you've ever met him.
damn it! I watched Jason's match 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Whenever I was there last, I wrestled. I wrestled Greg, and
Yeah.
damn it, yeah, Jason. I would put Jason up there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good guy.
he is the current reigning defending Southern Junior Heavyweight Champion, so I have to put him in there.
I would love before. Uh, I guess now would be a good time to bring this out in the open. I've promised my better half, my bride, that this will be for sure. This will be my last year active in the ring, and as there's not her. She's a pain in my ass. It's not her request. It's not by her request. It's by my own free will.
Yeah.
It'll be my last year in the business. But uh, before I hang it up, I would love nothing more than to mix it up with Jason Perez. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been relatively new since I've been in and out,
Yeah.
and I was trying to, Jason
Yeah.
Perez.
Well, if it doesn't happen between now and then,
Oh, well. Oh my God.
well, that's what I'm saying. Now I'm talking about if it doesn't happen between now and then. Quick at the Lake is always an idea.
Bro.
I've already booked him. I told Jason Perez this. I got screwed last year because the same day that Quake at the Lake was booked on, 4 of our main guys got sent to Lawrenceburg to work for Anthony Wayne. Not holding grudges, but not holding any grudges about it, but it killed me a little bit.
You know what? I think this is something that needs to be said, because it's not said enough. I do not take myself seriously at all. Zero, none whatsoever. I'm very proud of my career. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished. I realize a guy of my stature, I've probably accomplished more than I should have, and I'm grateful for all of that. Take your shots. I don't care. I'm happy with my career. I don't take myself seriously. Don't expect me to take you seriously, because as long as I have my kids, my wife, my dog, everything else is just extra, and I've endeared myself to a certain amount of people, and I have done the opposite with others, and no grudges. If you love me, I love you too, and if you do not, God bless you, and just know that I'm happy, and I hope you find your inner happy. Because it took a long time to find that within myself, and I'm proud to have that inner peace now. So,
well, we've had a few other comments. This was whenever we were talking about our Mount Rushmore right here. Peyton sent in his Mount Rushmore. Sorry, Peyton, that I dissed that I dissed Triple H a little bit. I'm sorry about that one.
Sean, Eddie, Steve, and Hunter. I think that's solid.
Yeah.
My personal list is like I said, I have to go with tickets sold, and I think Andre Hogan Flair, Austin. I think is
Mr. John Michael. We love him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Peyton sent in another thing,
Yeah. God dang it. Yellow Jacket.
Got about Yellow Jacket again. Yeah. Yellow Jacket.
Yeah. I think Yellow Jacket is probably the next Peyton or Thud. Yeah. I've often thought that.
Yeah. And final one with John Michael, it was him responding to you saying this is your last year.
Appreciate you, buddy. Like I said, I'm happy with it. Those of yesteryear or yesterday or yestermonth or whatever don't have to be, but I am. And if you're not, I wish I could tell you I cared.
Yeah. Well, we currently we're at 5 live viewers right now. That's usually more than what I usually get on here.
Hey, cool, man. I dig it.
We've been mainly we've been mainly reading off of just comments. So if anybody's got a comment, we'll read it off. We'll go over it. John Michael, once again.
Yestercome. Every day. Not just
Big thanks to
did you see that? Was my wife on camera?
for that comment?
Huh?
For that comment or yep, she was on camera.
I was just showing her off because he said yestercome, and that's yeah.
Also, I can see when anybody sends in maybe a heart or a like or anything like give a reaction to the podcast. Big thanks to John Michael for sending in a heart for this podcast. Also to
my buddies, I love you. To my haters, I love you even more.
Yeah. to the one and only Disco Key Awesome. He sent in a like.
Hey, cool.
I think though that means he must be watching as well. I'll probably be seeing him tonight, maybe.
Is he still in Dyersburg?
Every now and then. I think he's got another show he goes to also on the weekends. But yeah, he has a new gimmick called Disco Key Awesome.
I haven't seen Key in a lot of years. It's been a long time. Well, maybe last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He just sent in this comment.
Oh, what's up, Keister? Good to see you, buddy. I hope you're well.
It's a longer comment, so we're going to it's going to take up most of the screen, but I'll let you kind of go through it with Peyton.
I can't read. Hold on. Hey, brother. Hey, I get it. I'm not gonna throw your business out here on live, but you're where you need to be right now. So just keep doing what you're doing, and the rest will fall into place. Kiss her on the head for me, and if I was there, I'd hug your neck. hope you know that I've always thought a lot of you, and I always will. I've always seen your potential, and I think you're finally realizing that yourself. And um, uh,
Like I said,
love
not to cut you off. I hate to be this to the people. I'm really trying to be serious in this situation. But dadgummit, John Michael. Because like I
what,
said, I see these comments before you do.
what John said.
While you were saying this is what he put.
Yeah, well, it happens. Are those white
Yeah.
hearts? Too?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Is raising the roof still a thing? I'm so dated. Like I'm Cabbage Patch kind of thing. I don't know, man. I'm not with today's lingo, but
I mean, Disco Key Awesome may think so. You know, he is the Disco
massive,
King.
massive eggplant, massive.
Yeah.
Uh, is uh is Josh Matthews on? Is
I
it?
have I can't see who was all on. I know he
Okay.
got tagged in it, but it's just if you comment, I see your comment. If you liked it, I can see who liked it on what platform.
All
So
right. Well,
we're currently at 4 viewers, 3 on Facebook Live, 1 on Twitch.
all right, cool. Twitch. We're multimedia here. Yeah. Alabama Hot Pocket. That'll be an inside thing if Josh is out there watching. We never mind. Well,
Yeah. I think I just watched a Robert Frank video talking about that.
what, the Alabama Hot Pocket?
It may have been something Alabama, but it was certainly something Alabama.
That could be scary.
My wife said that could be scary. She has people in Alabama, so
Mr. John Michael actually has a question for you this time.
what's up, buddy? Okay. I'm trying to read this to myself. All right, hold on. Okay, not been in but watched. Oh man. Is it okay to mention like names that don't work for us anymore? Is that cool?
I'm open for whatever you want to talk about or whoever you want to talk about. If you didn't get to watch the JPR episode, you'll see how cool I am.
Okay. I think I wasn't there for Thud and Brandon, and I wanted to be, but I saw it later. After
Which
the
time though?
I think it
The
was
latest one,
no, the first one, I
first
believe.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know they've been kind of going back and forth for about a year.
Yeah. I think the world of both of those guys, Brandon and Thud both. But I think early on, Anthony and Simon, during Simon's heel run, was otherworldly. Like it deserved to be on a bigger stage.
Oh yeah.
And one match that I was in attendance for actually was when I want to say John won the championship, the unified title.
The last time.
Yeah, and a lot of us baby faces went to the ring, and I think I was branch manager or something at that time. We all went to the ring, and it was like a very big celebratory kind of. But Yeah, there are certain moments in time that just my barometer is if the boys can make the hair on the back of my neck stand up or the hair on my arm stand up, even as a worker, I think that's there's once upon a time, and I won't I won't mention names because if you're watching, just know that I know that there's a guy, we used to be buddies, and uh, I, um, we were buddies once upon a time, and he used to openly tell me and a lot of different people, man, I'd really like to get in the ring with Morgan Williams. Really love to work with Morgan Williams. Really love to, so on and so forth. And then got, those that person got hooked up with different people, and perceptions changed. And I that's my cat's tail, by the way. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Just know that I get your angle, kid. It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't take it personally at all. I think it's funny how perceptions change when the people around them change. That's all.
Yeah. John with a question. Talking about me versus Dale Wild, right? Moonsault match.
Yes,
Beating
sir.
Dale for the
Yeah.
title.
Right. Yep. You and Dale. Yep.
Yeah. I was thankfully to be able. I've thankfully been able to been blessed enough to watch a lot of matches with Pro Wrestling Mid South.
Yeah.
One of them, I believe, Jason Peter Rose or somebody else mentioned, but
I wish I would have seen more of his work. I wish I would have been.
Yeah.
I think he was around a lot while I was out taking chemo.
Yeah, he'd come in and worked a couple tag matches, managed Cody James.
I remember seeing it, but I
Yeah.
was not there for it. I wish I would have been, though.
Here's one by Key Awesome. Just sent in.
My company favorite person, but thanks for taking the chance in 2012. Oh, brother, that's kind of been my whole point of this whole thing. I've always tried to be business. I've always tried to do business with any and everybody. Like I've tried to bring myself, the best of myself, or the best that I could at that time, to everybody. And that what Key just commented. That was before I found Greg in Mid South, and that whole time period of my life. And I very much look back at those times fondly. I wish we could have worked together post me learning some sense of psychology. I remember, and here a couple of years ago, I saw Chris Jericho, do a interview with somebody where he said, before he went to the Federation, if somebody would have said to him, "Feeding a comeback," what the hell do you mean feeding a comeback? Like, what does that mean? And that kind of thing. So it's not like I'm the only person that's ever been kind of in the dark about that kind of thing. That shit just kind of happens, but
oh yeah.
I don't know. As I've stated before, and I'll say it again. Very, very, very much happy, very grateful for my experiences and opportunities.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, we're coming up on the 2 hour mark.
Well, it's been a good time. Can we do this again?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not like Derek King. I'm not calling out Derek King, but I'm not like Derek King where I think he just broke a world record on Facebook Live. I don't know if you noticed, if you've seen any of his Facebook Lives lately.
No.
This man he did an 8-hour long Facebook Live yesterday, and I think he broke Facebook for a second. John Michael probably knows because John Michael's been on a couple of his lives. But
speaking of Derek King, a guy that I got to work with a couple of weeks ago that I want to blow again real quick. I worked with Ray Sanders 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, and he and I had a banger together. Very, 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 very good, and very proud of what we pulled off. So, those of you out there that have not experienced or saw Ray work, I would strongly suggest finding Ray Sanders. He's a great talent.
Oh yeah. I've heard some pretty good things about Ray Sanders.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, he's back it off, slow it down maybe a little bit, but otherwise he's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, we got about 14 minutes till we hit that 2-hour mark. I guess we can give John Michael that next 14 minutes to see what else clever comments he comes up with.
Hit me, brother. Hit me.
I know he's still watching. We're now at 3 viewers, but I know he's still on here.
Oh, we're steadily losing them, Cody. Damn it.
Yeah. Yep.
We've lost 2 since.
Which it's almost 4:00 in the evening. People getting ready to either go out, do stuff.
People have shows to do tonight.
If anybody's watching that's a trainee, get your ass to the Herbo Trestleplex at Pro Wrestling Mid-South. Get in that fucking ring and train.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Training starts at 4:00.
You're at the right place under the right people.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have had what they had when I was their age. And I think a lot of things would be a lot different today.
Oh yeah, because like I said, training does start at 4:00. So
get your ass to work.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes to get there.
Get your ass to work. No excuse. No excuse not to. I'm old and cancerous. I have excuses.
Well, like I said,
my wife's going to put me in a home.
I'll put you in a nursing home at 40 years old, huh?
That's right. I'll be 41 in a couple months.
Yeah. Not John Michael, but Key Awesome. Here he is with his comment.
We can say fuck on here. Fuck. Yeah, you can say fuck on Cody's podcast.
Yeah.
I've tried not to. I've tried to keep
another sorry to Greg Anthony as well. I kind of got some advice from trying to get some advice from him. Like, hey, I'm about to start a podcast. Got any advice? He goes, yeah, keep it PG. Got you, Greg.
Hey, talk to my wife just a second.
No.
Talk to my wife just a second.
No.
She'll love it.
No.
What am I supposed to talk to your wife about?
That's what I'm saying. What we supposed to talk about?
Lesson plans.
How is it having Morgan Williams as a husband? I guess we can say.
Struggle bus with square wheels.
Good explanation. I love Morgan Williams. I've known him for very many years. I got to agree with you a little bit on that.
Yeah, he's pretty great. He overthinks a lot, but.
Oh, yeah. Where are our 3 viewers? Come on, John Michael. I know you got comments.
Sorry to say you put me on and everybody left. See?
John Michael. Like I said, I ran out of topics for Morgan. I don't know what more to talk about with. My one Twitch viewer, and it's a bot. Cheap viewers on steamboo.com. The hell Streamboo is. I don't know what that is.
See, you put me on and all his viewers left.
Oh.
They were like, peace out, Cody. You should be ashamed.
I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
Our one Twitch viewer is a bot. They're wanting me to get cheap viewers on streamboo.com. They just commented.
Did she bury me? Did she sell me out?
I did ask how it was having you as a husband. Yeah. You can ask her what her comment was on that.
I'm afraid I won't even ask because I don't want to know. I'm going to say it didn't go well.
It wasn't all too terrible.
It wasn't all too terrible. Okay.
I kind of agreed a little bit because I've known you for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have 3 viewers, 2 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch, which we now know the Twitch one is a bot.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Labored and Moss.
It's AI. Yeah.
Something like that. Some foreign guy sitting in an office full of other foreign people in a country that we don't speak their language.
Masturbating, probably.
Yeah. We have 1 viewer on Facebook. We don't know who that's a mysterious viewer. Don't know if it's he, could be John, could be somebody else.
I hope you're a hater.
Yeah.
John, Cordell, Key, love all you guys. Love seeing all y'all. Love catching up. Cody, it's been fun, man. I hope we can do this again.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We'll definitely set up another part 2. Usually I kind of got to do them kind of separate.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like Downtown Bruno was my first episode, and I got to reach out to him. And I'm going to shoot for him to be a episode 20 guest and to do a big thing with that. So
shoot me a link, man. I'd like to tune in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Well, brother, I guess I'll get off of here with you, and I'll do a closing, and we'll see each other next Friday, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right, then, sir. You have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate you, pal.
All right, later.
Later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode number 11 of the Mid-South Wrestling Center podcast with the Frontman Morgan Williams. We hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Also, don't forget that this episode will be going on our Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, anywhere, any platform that you subscribe to or anything like that. You can probably tune in and hear us. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Next, I do have to make a quick announcement. The next 2 Sundays, I have to take off. I know, ladies and gentlemen, I just recently took off, but I have to take off another 2 weeks because of my work schedule. We have a gentleman going on a non-refundable cruise for 2 weeks straight. So I'm probably most likely going to have to work on Sunday. But whenever we come back, I will be announcing sometime in the next 2 weeks our next guest. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Everybody have a good day.